Hey guys, welcome. So we discussed that we want to start the trust and probate classes. I thought we'll start 2 weeks from now. Today is the last day of school in Glendale Unified, so some of our team members are going to graduation. So we just continue with buyers special kind of need today. Next week we'll take off, and then the week after we'll start the probate and the trust classes. So I was thinking what we can talk about that's very practical that we're dealing with today. I'm dealing with it. I know Ani is dealing with this. Basically, the topic is when we have buyers, what are some of the challenges we face with their expectation, with their mindset, with their schedule, all of the above. You have buyers right now that you're faced with some of these challenges. Now, let me just go back a little bit because I know one time Morgan mentioned like sellers discussion. So let me just kind of go back. Why do most agents that are new or within 5 years or 3 years of their career, why do they get more buyers than sellers? Well, I think the reason is it's not sometimes that I know a lot of people like to represent sellers to do open houses and staging. I do, but for me, it's been mostly buyers. And I think the reason is if you think about yourself, let's think that you have a home, you've owned it for 10 years, and you and your husband, your family think about selling it. Probably if you're not in this business, if you're not a real estate agent, when you say, well, let's sell it, you're probably not going to go to like a friends or family that just because they're friends and family, you're probably going to say, let's find someone experienced in our neighborhood so we can get the most for our money. And how do we find that? Well, let's go to Zillow or let's go to the drive around and see who has more signs for sale in our little neighborhood. So a lot of times those people keep getting business. If someone is being known, like Jerry Arman, for example, in Glendale, he's very, very known. If somebody wants to sell their house over 1.5 and they live above Kenneth, they might call him because it's just, he's been known for that. So and a lot of this, what I'm saying is agents that have been around over 10 years, 15 years, there are probably more chances for them to get houses to list for sale. Once we're in that stage in our career, then we might fall into that path. The other thing is farming. So farming is a very, very good pattern that agents do. So let's say I live in a certain neighborhood. If I start farming my neighborhood, giving my card saying, hey, I live down the street. I just want to introduce myself. If you ever want to sell, I can help you. I know the neighborhood. I know the neighbors. I have buyers. If you do farming in a certain area, chances are after, again, long-term investment, but chances are after a few years, you get that neighborhood. And I think what I just said is very practical. I went to an open house on Saturday in Chatsworth, very nice part of Chatsworth. The agent was an older lady. She's been doing this over 20 years. She said, yeah, I live down the street. The owner here is a nurse. When I had my heart attack, he helped me and he was joking around with me. So it was kind of like she gets all the listing in that little 4 or 3 pocket streets right there. So maybe when you guys buy a home or if you guys live in a home, maybe you want to think about just farming that area because you live there. So at least you have something, say, listen, I live in the area versus saying I've been doing this for 15 years and you haven't. So the reason selling, again, is just as good, we need to know it, but the reason it's not as practical is probably in our career, we're going to end up getting more buyers. Right now, you have buyers, you have buyers, you have buyers, I have buyers, you have buyers. So basically, that's why. So that's why I'm focusing on what's more practical. So I want to call or title today's discussion, how do I prepare for my buyer? So basically, you guys all have buyers. So I was thinking about this. I think just like anything else, logically speaking, preparation is the key to closing. It's just like, when you have an exam and you're going to university, if you leave it for the last minute is not good, and you do that sometimes, that's not good. But if you plan ahead and you prepare, chances are the result is better, right? So we want to talk about really what we're discussing today is how do we prepare for our buyers? How do you prepare for your buyers? That's what we're discussing today. And then basically, I went again to CAR and I pulled some study material, and it's basically we're navigating our buyer's expectation. Every buyer has a different expectation. You had a buyer that was very, very finance driven, very, very finance driven, right? She has a buyer right now that's all cash driven, doesn't understand the idea of a loan. You have a buyer that, for example, they want to buy in Glendale, but their budget is really, really hard to get there. So basically, you have a buyer that's waiting for an opportunity that sometimes never comes, and you have to navigate that expectation, right? So navigating our buyer's expectation, I think, is the key to preparation. How do we navigate their expectation? We got to get to know them. You got to get to know them. You need to get to know them. You need to engage in a conversation with them, right? So we really, it's really important, and I'm not gonna go back and turn this board around. I actually locked it. But in our first early discussion was, get to know your buyers. Make short conversations. Make small conversations and observe. Observe the little things they say. Observe the comments they throw. If they want to talk about something that's even outside of real estate, you need to be a listener and you need to observe. And you need to bring that somehow into your relationship. Okay, so let's do the navigating your buyer expectation. Okay, so let's start with the page that says summary, guys. And Joel, if you could read us the first sentence and the first bullet point.
Managing buyer expectations will lead to...
Well, actually, I apologize. That's going to be why we need to do this. How are we going to do it? Let's do the how. So let's go to the other page. And let's do the one that the family... Is that Caroline giving the key? No, I thought it was Caroline. No, just kidding. Just kidding. No, it's Joel, actually. Joel, you giving the key. Go give the key. For upfront counseling, can you read that for us?
For upfront counseling to be helpful, get the buyer to answer 4 key questions. Click the buttons below to reveal these questions.
So I clicked it and I kind of put the questions for us. So the first question, Caroline, John, if you could read it. So that's the question for your, Louisa, that's the question for your, that's the question for your buyers.
Yes.
Can the market live up to your expectation? So how do we discuss that with our buyer? Well, we educate ourselves about the marketplace, like you did a great job. You understood that the market, your buyers are looking into Glendale, does not have too many FHA building. Great job. You looked at the price range. You're like, you know what? 550. We can't do it, guys. We need to go to 600. There you go. This is how you navigate the expectation. You learn the marketplace. Then you need to explain them the marketplace. So for your buyer, the first time we had a discussion, I said, listen, forget North Hills by the freeway. With her budget, why don't we go to Granada Hills? Why don't we go to Northridge? Why don't we go to Porter Ranch? And you're like, really? You're like, yeah, why don't we do that? So we got to know the marketplace, and we got to make sure that the marketplace lives up to the expectation of our buyer. Okay? That's the first one. Now, second question, Ani, can you read the second question?
Can I live up to your expectations?
So that's a very, very tricky question, because most buyers, especially first-time buyers, I'll say it again, especially first-time buyers, their expectations a lot of times are not realistic. Their expectations are like movie-driven or fantasy-driven. There's nothing wrong with that. But in order for me to live up to their expectation, I need to educate them. And I need to put my foot down sometimes. And I need to be, listen, I'll go with you in this open house if you like. However, I don't think we're going to find anything that you're looking for in this price range, fully remodel, no money to spend. It's just going to be hard. So last one, Morgan John, can you read the last one, please?
Can you live up to my expectations?
So that's you're asking the buyer, can the buyer live up to? So what is your expectation for your buyer? You know, I think all of our expectation is don't waste my time. Let's move forward, right? But I mean, the reality is in America, customer is always right. You go to Europe, it's other way around. You could kick the customer and nothing happens. Here, customer is always right. So you basically have to have no expectation. 2 years showing houses, like la 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 la, you know. So in America, customer is right. So our expectation, unfortunately, has to be very navigated and small and very patient. But that's another question that comes up. Okay. So guys, before we go to the result, I just want to sum everything up so you're not confused. Basically, to sum it all up, get to know your client, get to know the city they want to buy, cities, get to know their budget, right? Once you have the context, then you communicate with them accordingly. So if your brother wants to buy in the valley, he says, I'm fine from Woodland Hills to Glendale, all south by 101. Studio City, Sherman Oaks, Encino, Tarzana, Woodland Hills. You know that. So there you're not going to discuss anything with him for Pasadena. It's just simple as that. It's very logical. Get to know things before you do the work. Don't generalize it, okay? Now, if you do this, if we navigate our buyer's expectation, our careers will eventually change. Our careers will take off. It will take time, but you need to stick to the game plan. Just like the doctor, when he got his doctor degree and opened his office on Glendale Adventist, he stick to a game plan. Eventually it took off. So the results are going to be the following. So by managing these buyers' expectation, we're going to have easier and better showing. Isn't that true? When you tell them things, you have easier and better showing. They're not walking into a showing with expectations that are like way off base, right? They have easier and better showing. Second thing, more effective negotiation. When you have your buyer's pre-approval ready, when you have their money in the bank, everything is ready, then you can go and negotiate better. I always tell the buyer, I say, listen, you want me to get you a deal, you want me to do this, do that, get you closing costs, get you concession, but you don't even have a pre-approval. It's like sending me to the war without a gun, with flowers. How can I go to war with flour? I need my gun, I need my tank. So I tell them, the more prepared we are, the more ammunition, the better I can negotiate, the more money I can save you. So basically, for better negotiation, we need to navigate their mind, we need to prepare them, and that's how we negotiate well. Increase closing. We will close more deals if the buyers are on earth versus in the air. Like their expectation is realistic. When you do more closing, you make more money. When you close more, you make more money, you will get more referral. And guess what? Now your career is set. Now you have a name and you have a career. So a little seed here can lead into a big picture, right? So basically, when you get a buyer, spend time with them. Navigate. I know some of us here have other jobs, other careers, school. I totally get it, but I want to tell you, it's very rare that you get a buyer, they go see a house, and you go into escrow. Most of the time, you need to invest time and effort and do all of this. Do your homework, meet with them, repeat to them. I know we have to repeat and repeat and repeat. I do it every day, all the time. And sometimes I tell myself, Kevin, you gotta like calm down. They don't know, you know. They're a first time buyer, you know. So you need to be patient, you need to repeat, and you need to do that. Okay, last thing, that paragraph in the middle. Joel, you wanna read that paragraph in the middle?
Engage buyers who visit your office by introducing yourself, asking about their research, offering to save them time and money, and listening carefully to their needs.
So this is exactly what the PBU method is, right? Greet them. So when you go to they're not going to come to the office. When you go to the nail salon, greet them, make short talk, listen to their needs. Listen to their needs. If and then you can navigate. So basically, what this is saying, take every opportunity you have to make small talk and listen to their needs, and then attack. Then, pitch, then invite, then offer, okay? That's basically what that is. So, honey, if you could take one and pass one to everyone for the quiz. So guys, on the last question, the false is on the second page. Does it have a first page or is it this one actually? Wait, I think it's this one. I think it's this one. Just give the first page. The second page only has false. We don't need it. We can just take care of that. You can get going. Give me, guys, I'll be back while you get that really quick. سلام میگن جان خوب هستین؟ قربانتون خوبین؟ آره کلاس داشتم از کلاس اومدم بیرون امروز چهارشنبه ها من معمولا اون کلاس دارم ولی بفرمایید اوکیه به یه دقیقه بریک لازم داشتم به هر حال نه اوکی ازم بله یه چیزایی یادم خیلی عالی. خب زنگ زدن به من بگو تمام می‌کنیم با هم یه روز می‌تونیم آفیس شما می‌تونیم نه اصلا درصد رفتن بچه‌ها فقط تناسب یه رفتن بچه‌ها دیگه تو سابقه و تحصیل آره نه به خاطر اون جایی که تو رشته خودش میگیره دیگه حساب میشه یعنی کار رو از لحاظ اینکام راحت تر میکنه دم پیمنتش مورد نیست همیشه هست همیشه گفتن یه شخص باید 2 سال توی شغل حرفه باشه تجربه داشته باشه یا بالاتر اون اوکی آره اون اوکی خیال راحت باشه اون اوکی باشه ازم آره اون اوکی فوق شما که بچه‌های خوبی باشه و در کنه اون این پروگرامی که بهت گفتم من اونو برای دوستای خاص دارم یادت باشه آره میت کنیم من چیز میکنم داره راحت میشه من آفر دادم برای یه دونه تمام چسبورد رد شد چون آردی قبول کرده بودم برای این اکزام که آفر دادیم 11 جواب میدن همون تارگت آفر دادم بله آفر دادم 15000 بالاتر نو اینسپکشن نو اپریزل نو آفر قبلی دادم ببینیم چی میشه دیگه با امید خدا خواهش میکنم عزیزم خواهش میکنم قربونت برم خواهش میکنم Is the noise okay? Anna, is it okay?
Can you do like this on the microphone?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
A little harder?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I think it's good.
1, 2, 3. Okay, guys. So does everyone have this?
I'll put it the other way.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Does everyone have the quiz?
Yes.
Did you guys take it, or were you waiting for me to say take it? There's, I think, pen over there. Anisha. Yeah. So that's very interesting. You guys all waited for me to say take it. Okay, take it, please.
We thought we were going to read it together and answer together.
Whoever gets it all right today gets a $500 gift card from Perry. She's paying a $500 gift card from Perry for all the correct answer. And whoever gets all of it wrong is buying lunch 2 weeks from now.
Taking us to Disneyland.
Disneyland, huh?
Yeah. That's expensive.
Taking us to Noble.
There you go. Yeah, as usual, Caroline has an excuse to miss the quiz, so we should have her do all the answers. So number 5, just if you think the answer is false, just put F. So we're just taking the quiz. So Louisa, are you finished? Morgan, no cheating. Just kidding. I see, Ani was looking at your paper, just so you know. Anna, sorry, not Anna. You were looking at her paper though.
Don't rely on her because she relies on me.
Hey, Louisa, it was going like this. She was relying on you. Anna was relying on Morgan. Ani, get up and go there. Okay, I'm going to start with the first one. So, Anna, read the first one and give us the answer, please.
True or false? Upfront buyer counseling has no impact on the negotiation process. False.
That is false. It has all the impact on negotiation because we talked about if you have your buyer ready, you have your ammunition ready, when you go to war, you can get a better deal, right? So, Louisa, go second one.
To perform successful upfront buyer counseling, a real estate professional should ask the buyer, can the market live up to your expectations? Can I live up to your expectations? Can you live up to the market's expectations? Can you live up to my expectations? All of the above. I picked all of them. That's correct.
So all of those are kind of go hand in hand with one another. Very, very important. So, Ani, do you want to read the next one?
Managing buyers' expectation during upfront buyer consulting will lead to, I put all of the above.
That is correct. So more closing, future referrals, more effective negotiation, all of the above. Okay. So since this is the tricky one, we can give it to Caroline. Caroline, this is the tricky one.
Real estate agents who greet buyers stepping into their offices and outline how they will save them time and money will better be able to inform buyers that they should not waste their effort and time into trying to purchase a home. I didn't do that one. Capture buyers' loyalty through success upfront buying campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to tell them, don't buy a home. Yeah, that's the tricky one, because I first thought of that one too. So that's the tricky one. Yeah, but C is correct. Capture buyer loyalty through successful upfront buyer counseling. Okay, Ani in the corner.
My voice. True or false, buyers should be left alone during the initial visit to a real estate office. It's false.
We should leave him alone, no? No, it's false. Yeah, it's false. Okay, so basically, guys, to summarize everything, we all have buyers. We all have our own challenges. Separate your buyer from one another. Very rarely two cases are alike. And few things to leave the class by would be this. If you are in the process of showing homes, always check in with them Thursday, latest Friday, I do, and say, would you like to see any houses this weekend? I'm making my schedule. You know, just do a check-in, or just check in with them, say nothing new has come, inventory is slow, give them a little pep talk. If you're not showing them houses and you're still in the stage of them being your customer versus your client, or you're in the stage of getting a pre-approval, you want to bring them in, I would say do not forget to follow up. Don't let things fade away. Every 3 weeks or so, you guys should touch base with them, because the longer you wait, there's a chance that you're at your daughter's soccer practice and they're already gone to a different person. So following up is key. Inventories should get better hopefully in July. So that's pretty much it. So nothing next Wednesday, guys, no class. The following Wednesday we'll start our first class on probate and trust sales. We'll start that. Any questions regarding buyers' expectations? Good? Okay, thank you guys. Awesome.